Did you know that nearly 50% of marriages end in divorce? Shocking, right? And it's not just about finding the right person, it's about building the right relationship. In fact, studies show that 70% of couples who communicate openly and build trust stay together longer. So, what's the secret to a lasting relationship? It's not just love, it's trust, emotional intelligence, and respect. In this video, we'll uncover the 3 essential ingredients that every successful relationship needs. From understanding your partner's emotions to growing together, these strategies are the real game changers. Stick around, because these are the keys that could transform your relationship and make it stronger than ever. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Chapter 1: The Foundation of Trust. Building without cracks. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship. Without trust, love can't grow. It's easy to say, "I trust you," but building trust takes time and consistent effort. In fact, research shows that 40% of couples who experience a breach of trust struggle to repair it fully. So, what can you do to build strong trust? Start with honesty. Always be open about your thoughts, feelings, and actions. If you make a mistake, own up to it. The sooner you admit it, the easier it will be to move forward. According to John Gottman, a leading relationship expert, couples who openly share their emotions are 60% more likely to stay together than those who bottle things up. Next, be consistent. Trust isn't built on big gestures, it's built on everyday actions. Small, positive behaviors like showing up when you say you will or keeping promises go a long way. A study from the University of California found that couples who keep their word report feeling 50% more satisfied in their relationships. Lastly, be vulnerable. Sharing your true self with your partner deepens the trust between you. Vulnerability isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. As Brené Brown says, vulnerability is not winning or losing, it's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Trust thrives in an environment where both partners feel safe to be their authentic selves. Chapter 2: Emotional Intelligence. The secret ingredient to true connection. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is often what separates good relationships from great ones. It's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions, and it's just as important as IQ. In fact, studies show that people with higher EQs are more likely to have satisfying relationships. But how can you increase your EQ? Start by practicing empathy. Put yourself in your partner's shoes. When you understand their feelings, you're better able to respond in a way that supports them. A study from the University of Toronto found that couples who express empathy toward each other have higher relationship satisfaction and lower chances of conflict. Another key to emotional intelligence is emotional regulation. This means controlling your reactions, especially during conflict. Instead of reacting immediately when you're upset, take a step back and assess the situation. The pause technique is a proven strategy that allows you to calm down and avoid saying things you might regret later. Lastly, communicate openly about your feelings. Emotional intelligence isn't just about understanding others, it's also about understanding yourself. Share your emotions honestly with your partner and encourage them to do the same. Research from the University of Denver found that couples who communicate their emotions openly are 40% more likely to have long-lasting relationships. Chapter 3: Respect. The unseen power behind every successful relationship. Respect may be the most underrated quality in relationships, yet it's the most vital. Respect doesn't just mean listening to your partner, it's about valuing their opinions, ideas, and boundaries. Without respect, relationships start to erode. So, how do you show respect? First, prioritize active listening. When your partner is speaking, focus on understanding their perspective rather than thinking about your response. According to a study from the University of Texas, couples who engage in active listening experience 30% less conflict and have better emotional connections. Another form of respect is setting healthy boundaries. Respecting your partner's space, time, and individuality allows both of you to grow. A couple who understands each other's limits is far less likely to experience resentment, which can poison the relationship. Remember, respecting boundaries is not about control, it's about understanding what each partner needs to feel secure and happy. Finally, treat your partner as an equal. Power struggles can destroy relationships. Instead of focusing on who's right, focus on how you can work together. Couples who practice equality report being 50% happier in their relationships, according to research from the National Marriage Project. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more relationship tips. Chapter 4: Growth Together. The beauty of evolving as a couple. Relationships, like people, need room to grow. If you're not growing together, you might be growing apart. Growth isn't just about career success or personal achievements, it's about evolving together as partners. Couples who grow together build a stronger bond, and that's something to nurture over time. Start by encouraging each other's dreams. Support your partner's ambitions as if they were your own. A study from the University of California found that couples who actively encourage each other's personal growth are 45% more likely to have satisfying relationships. Instead of competing, focus on lifting each other up. Learning new things together is another great way to grow as a couple. Whether it's a cooking class, a new hobby, or even learning a new language, shared experiences deepen connections. According to research from the University of Denver, couples who experience new things together report higher levels of happiness and a 30% lower risk of separation. It's also important to recognize that change is inevitable. Life will throw curveballs at you, and how you adapt together determines the strength of your relationship. In their book The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, John Gottman and Nan Silver talk about the importance of accepting and adapting to change. When partners grow together, they become more resilient in the face of challenges. Chapter 5: Communication Beyond Words. The language of love. Effective communication is more than just words, it's about truly understanding each other. Communication shapes the dynamics of any relationship, and when done right, it strengthens the bond between partners. But how do you go beyond surface-level conversations? Start with active listening. This means listening to understand, not just to respond. A study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who practice active listening experience a 35% decrease in conflicts and a stronger sense of emotional closeness. Nonverbal communication also plays a huge role. Your body language, facial expressions, and even the tone of your voice convey more than you think. In fact, research from Albert Mehrabian shows that 55% of communication is nonverbal, 38% is tone of voice, and only 7% is actual words. Being aware of how you present yourself can make a huge difference in how your partner feels. Another key aspect of communication is timing. It's not just what you say, but when you say it. Timing can turn a sensitive topic into a constructive conversation, or make it feel like an argument. Wait for the right moment, when both of you are calm and open to discussion. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of I statements. Instead of saying "you never listen to me," try saying, "I feel unheard when." This small change can prevent defensiveness and promote understanding. Couples who use I statements report feeling 30% more understood by their partners. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe for more relationship insights. Chapter 6: Quality Time. The non-negotiable element of connection. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to forget how important quality time is. It's not just about being in the same room, it's about being present and engaged with each other. When you spend quality time with your partner, you're showing them they are a priority. But how can you make the most of your time together? First, be intentional about your time. Set aside specific moments to connect, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. A study from the National Marriage Project found that couples who intentionally schedule quality time together report being 50% happier and more satisfied in their relationships. Another strategy is to focus on distractions. When you're together, be present. Put your phones away, turn off the TV, and just focus on each other. Research from the University of California shows that couples who limit distractions during their time together have stronger emotional bonds. Do something meaningful together. Quality time doesn't always mean spending hours together, it's about making the time count. Whether it's a deep conversation, a fun activity, or even just enjoying silence, it's the emotional connection that matters most. Lastly, remember that quality time doesn't always have to be planned. Sometimes, spontaneous moments, like a walk or a surprise date night, can create lasting memories and deepen the bond. According to the Journal of Marriage and Family, couples who have spontaneous, unplanned moments together have a 20% higher relationship satisfaction rate. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on building a better relationship.